Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
This is coming out on Valentine's Day.
Galentine's.
Do you celebrate Valentine's Day?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
You do
you
stuff?
not?
I don't know. Not really.
No?
No.
I remember the last Valentine's.
It's not that we don't celebrate it. It's just that, like, we don't, like, make the day a big deal. Like, we might go out to dinner that weekend and get, like, little chocolates.
Oh, no, we don't do that. That we don't do.
Oh.
We do, like, so the last Valentine's Day, he came home with chocolate for me. And I don't, like, really care what you get me. Like, that's not it. It's, like, the thought that counts. Like, some people are like, we don't want chocolate. We don't want flowers. I really don't care. Like, as long as you think about me. I'm pretty easygoing. But, like, what I loved is he got Lena a unicorn stuffed animal. And it was so colorful. It was so cute. She loved it. And
So you want him doing stuff for the girls, the
well,
kids.
and me too. Like, he got me chocolate, and I like food, obviously.
Okay, but Lucas gets me chocolate, like, just, like, randomly throughout the week.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he'll come home with, like, a Heath bar or whatever, like an ice.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, like, that's not special. And then also, like, I don't love flowers because they die and then I have to clean them up. And
Oh, I think they're pretty.
they're pretty,
To
but,
look
like,
at.
yeah, you can go look at them at Kroger in the aisle. And then,
Hey, babe, let me take you by the Kroger aisle and let's look at some flowers.
yeah, I'm not that hard to please when it comes to Valentine's Day. But,
Me
like,
neither. Just think about me. That's it.
hopefully he's always thinking about you.
Right? Daydream about me.
I mean, but we're actually gonna celebrate Valentine's Day tonight. We're gonna go on a little date.
Oh, cute. Where are you guys going?
We
Do you
don't know because
Oh.
like I was like bringing up dinner places and he was like, do you really just want to go to dinner? Don't you want to like do something? And I'm like, but what can we do? Like, what is there to do? Like, I don't know. I'm like, you don't like to bowl. And he's like, we could go to Topgolf. And I'm like, you don't like Topgolf. Like, you've said you don't like Topgolf. So I don't know. I guess he wants to do something, but I don't know.
I'll brainstorm. I'll brainstorm.
Yeah, let
for
me know
you.
if you think of something because I'm not a
What about
planner
Pet
person.
Shack? No?
We've done it already. I feel like it's like a one-time thing.
Okay. I've never been.
That's
I've
mini
just heard about
golf for those that don't know. But
it. I've heard about it.
okay, so today's episode is not about anything specific. I think we have a range of different topics to talk about. Should we start with the fact that we're both kind of freaking out about if we want to put our kids in public school?
Oh my God. And I only have a 1-year-old. Like, the internet is freaking me out. But this is more, I feel like,
more so-
relevant for you.
It's the world. Yeah, my kid's literally just turned 4, so like he should be starting kindergarten like next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm way too much of a worrier, and I am just so worried about him being in a place where he's going to be majority of the time and not knowing what exactly is going on, who he's surrounding himself with, if the teachers are qualified or good people, or what their background reports look like. With social media, you just see something every single day about a teacher beating up a student, a kid beating up a student, them talking about things that I want to talk about with my kids. And like, I don't know when is the right time. And do they know when is the right time? It's just like, it's too much.
Right. And I feel like the age that our kids are at currently, I feel like I'd be more comfortable, not really comfortable. Like, I just feel like at least 12 years old or something like that, 13, like they can really fully tell me, like they have a head on their shoulders at that point. Not, they're still kids, but like they can tell me more, and like they kind of know what's right from wrong, I feel like, a little bit. But I feel like it's such a young and impressionable age that they're at right now. Like, I feel like the elementary years.
They're sponges.
Yeah. And it's just like, you don't know who you're dropping your kid off for the majority of the day with. Like, you just don't know. And I feel like also I'm thinking back to my elementary years, and I don't know if I should, as a grown person now, 30 years, later, like 25, I guess, I remember, how crazy is this? And I don't know if something was going on or not. We took a tour of the school or something like that. And I remember it was either like on this side or this side of the wing. And like, I could probably get back to it if I went now. We took a tour, and they had a special, is it special ed department? Is that the right terminology for it?
Yeah,
Okay.
special ed class.
Yeah. And I remember as a child, now remember you see things differently as a child. So I'm trying to give grace there. But there was a closet door with a lock on it. They opened it up. There was a desk with a seat and a child sitting there and closed the door back. And I remember this
That
because
was
I was
part
like,
of the
why is there?
tour?
Well, like, I don't think they meant for it to be necessarily.
Well, if they opened the
I
door.
think that we went into the classroom and the door was open.
And was it an awkward moment?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's why I remember it as a kid. Like, I was a very young child. I don't even know what grade I was
Do you
in.
remember your parents like maybe talking
It
about
wasn't,
it?
parents weren't with us. It was just the kids.
Oh.
Walking somewhere to do something.
How
and
old?
I don't remember.
No, how old were you?
I don't remember. I just was in elementary school. I was probably 1st through 3rd grade maybe. And I'm thinking back, I'm like, was that supposed to happen? Like, you supposed to shut a kid in a closet and lock it? There's a literal, like those, what is it? Where you slide it through? A deadbolt. There was a deadbolt on the outside of it. Why would a child be in a closet with a deadbolt? That doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah, that's a little
Like,
sketchy.
I feel like I should call up my old elementary school and be like, hey, 25 years ago, you had this closet and you shut kids in it, I think. You might want to check that out.
Yeah, I think you should just let it go.
Right?
But yes,
That's what I'm talking about.
that's the thing. I'm like, have things always been so freaking wild and crazy, and we've always been surrounded with like the craziness of the world, or are like we just freaking out now because everything is online, everything is made into a video, everything is talked about.
Maybe. I was talking to one of my my mom's best friends, and she was saying, you know, this has always been an issue, whether you put your kids in public or private schools. There's going to be things you like and things you don't like, but either way, you cannot control the situation in either. So you might think you're doing better. Like, we literally had this conversation on the way over here. You might think you're doing better by putting your child in private school, but there's going to be something there that you don't like that happens. Or same situation, but you're paying more money.
Right. That was what I wanted to tell you over the phone when we talked about it, because I was like, you still don't know. So my mom moved locations because she wanted to be in a better school district for my brother. And this was like one of the top schools. And she literally regrets it to this day and thinks it's literally the reason why all of these issues came up with him. And also, I think just like moving at that age in high school, schools, I did it too, is just not the best idea, because you're putting yourself around people that have already like been friends for years and years and years. And you don't know who to gravitate towards. So I think you just literally gravitate towards like the first person
That's what I was going to say. The first accepting people.
Yes. And it ended up not being the best group of people for my brother. And he got into a lot of trouble in high school. He got expelled. Expelled. Yeah, he got expelled. And like the kids at the school that he transferred to were like into the more, since it was a more expensive area, it was like more hardcore drugs and like coke and heroin and like Molly were like the drugs at this high school, and the drugs that were at the school that he would have gone to is like weed.
That's true.
So
see, so that's I'm glad you kind of said that, because that's the whole thing I've been proposing to my husband, is moving to a better school district when we do get into that stage of life versus doing private school. Like, let's move to a different area, a better area that I'm looking at. I'm looking at 2 different areas, one that's nearby you and then another one that's more of the suburbs. And now you're making me this almost the same district.
At least you have time to think about it. Like, I don't have much time.
Yeah, because you have to, if you're doing private school, you have to enroll like so many months in advance.
I can't afford private school unless my mom is willing to.
No. Some are like the same cost as daycare.
I almost can't afford daycare.
It's expensive. I cut my cleaning lady for daycare.
That's a big deal.
It's huge. I'm struggling. I miss you.
Dude,
I think I actually have to hire her back.
I don't know how to homeschool. I don't know what that looks like. Can I like hire somebody? Like, I don't know, but like I can't send my kid to school. I can't. Like, I'm scared. Like, I love him so much. Like, that I don't want him, I want to know what's going on. And obviously he's going to be socialized because we're putting him in all of the like after school activities, like jujitsu, swimming, soccer, all of that. But yeah, I don't think I can do school. I was a good kid, but obviously like in high school, like you're an idiot. You make dumb decisions, and that's a part of life. But like, if I can have some control over like the mistakes my kid is going to make, I hope my mom isn't listening to this, or any parents, because I think they would have a heart attack. But when I was a freshman in high school, this guy told me he had a pill that I could take for $10 and that it would just make me really happy. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And I took a freaking ecstasy pill in my freshman year of high school during school. And
how'd you find out it was that?
I look back and that's psychotic. Because I think I asked him, and now I know what Molly is, what ecstasy is. Like, I know. And it was like one of those little pills, and it had like a little smiley face on it and whatever. And like,
oh no,
I know the feeling of what, like, and I was like, I was in math class, like, so like, I was like having conversations with like people I hated, and like I was like so excited about it, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like,
that
like, did my parents not have a conversation with me very consistently, like every single day, like I'm going to do with my kids, like, do not do drugs, like do not take random pills from people, like like this is what this drug.
No, my husband took a random pill from somebody, and it was Adderall, because he said he had a headache, and he was like, Madison, I don't know what I took, and then we figured it out, it was Adderall. I was like, why are you taking random pills from people? So you know what, don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, well, Adderall is definitely not as intense as ecstasy.
No, but don't be too hard on yourself, because he's a grown man.
I just can't imagine my kid doing that. Like, that is a night. That's just so scary.
I think that's really staying on them and being like, these are the things you might encounter, and these are the things that you got to watch out for, and really staying adamant about it, because that's what my parents are.
I'm going to literally, a day isn't going to go by where I don't have a serious conversation with my child about things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to be so consistent in my communication about what the worst things you can do in life are. And like,
and they're going to make mistakes. Like, they're going to,
like they're going to make mistakes.
It's going to happen.
But like,
be their safe place.
I could have gone to jail or something for like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? And another thing in high school, I had like a little bit of weed in a little container in my makeup bag, and it was like in my backpack, and I didn't even smoke weed. It was somebody else's, and I was just like holding it for like, I don't know, a random day. I literally didn't smoke weed back in high school, and I was just holding somebody's weed, and I had that in my makeup bag for like the longest time. And then one random day I decided to leave it in my car. Thank God, because the school came.
The drug dogs?
They came in to my specific classroom and was like, we need to search backpacks. And one of the kids had like weed in their backpack, and they got escorted out.
I'm wondering if other schools did that, or is it just ours? Because they had it like randomly where the drug dogs would go down the hallways, and we were in really prominent schools like that were very, very good. So I'm very confused as to why that was a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like the most important thing you can do for your kids is just be as stable as possible. Like, stay in the same house for like the time that they're in school, their childhood, like up until they graduate from high school.
That's why I want to decide where are we going to be.
Because I want them to grow up with the same friends. Like, being as stable as possible will create that kind of stableness in their brain and life, and like, I agree, everything being stable is like the way to go.
But so like elementary school, I'm like, if we move, we move. But like after that, I like probably 4th grade and up, I wouldn't want to move. But I'm like, that's why I'm so adamant. Everyone's like, why are you so concerned? Your kid's not even 2 yet, and your other one's like not even a year yet. Why are you so concerned? And I'm like, because I want to be where I'm supposed to be because of what you're saying. Like, I want to go ahead and get there. I want to make up my mind now, so I know come the time, like, where we're supposed to be.
Have we mentioned having kids is stressful?
Here you go.
Another reason why it's
101
fucking stressful. I'm so done. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, next
Otherwise,
topic.
we could literally, next topic.
We could talk about this for days.
We could.
You stressed? I'm stressed. We all stressed. Let's go.
Speaking of kids, Callie's birthday party's
Yes! What?
Canceled.
What the heck? I was so excited. Why? What happened this time? Milo's was canceled.
Okay, sorry. Let me
Callie's
rephrase.
canceled.
Callie's birthday is rescheduled. It is actually
Why?
rescheduled because, oh my God, I'm so annoyed.
Did you already send out the cancellation?
Yes, but I was just going to talk to you about it here.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, yes.
this week, the weather has been nothing short of amazing. Except for Sunday, it's going to be rainy and it's going to be cold AF. I wouldn't mind all the kids running around in the rain. I wouldn't mind that. But the fact that it's going to be cold and their clothes are going to get wet and there's a bouncy house and the bouncy house is going to get wet and then their clothes are going to get wet and then they're going to get sick. Everybody's going to leave sick. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And I want the babies to be able to like sit in the grass and like be cute and smile and laugh and it not just be like a total vibe killer. So I'm like, no, rescheduling. This is terrible. This is awful. Like, no.
I didn't even look at the weather. I was assuming it was going to be great.
Well, when I scheduled it, it was going to be like 55 and sunny. And now it's going to be 41 and rainy. So I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So yeah, party's rescheduled. Now we can move on. Let me just look at my notes. By the way, this is episode 10. So like we're in the double digits, baby. So it's going to go a little long today. Just saying.
We're celebrating.
Yeah, we're having fun.
We've got lots to talk about too.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I feel like.
Okay, so Grammys, did you watch it? I didn't.
Okay, I don't think anyone watches the Grammys. However,
people watch. I used to watch.
Before we had Netflix and Hulu.
Right.
This was back in the day.
Yeah, do people still watch?
I don't think so. Like everyone's talking about that. But I've seen like the snippets that have all come out. Like obviously who hasn't? What the actual
What are you saying? What the actual to?
Like have you not seen the snippets going around? Sam Smith.
Okay, yes.
Beyonce's husband Jay-Z. They're not even, it's literally like the Balenciaga thing. Like they're not trying to hide it whatsoever.
Okay.
Like before you used to question, like, is this satanic? Is this Illuminati?
Clearly.
Like you used to question it. Now it's like not even questioning it. It's like, it is what you see it is. It is what it is.
Basically, we're worshiping the devil is what's happening.
No, did you see what
Like,
CNN posted?
What the actual fuck?
CNN tweeted to Sam, is it Sam Smith? Sam Hunt?
We're going to worship you later?
No, we're so ready to worship
worship
or something like that. Don't quote me on the so ready, but it's ready to worship or we're so ready to worship or something. Deleted the tweet after Sam Smith's performance. And I'm like, you knew these things are planned. You knew what he was doing. It wasn't like it wasn't planned. You knew what he was doing. You literally said, we're ready to worship. What were you going to worship?
So Sam Smith.
Like, duh.
Sam Smith had a performance at the Grammys. If you're unaware of what the fuck we're talking about, Sam Smith performed his hit song Unholy at the Grammys, and it was literally a like freaking witchcraft site. What the?
He literally had devil horns. Everyone's dressed in red, flames coming out of every which way. The girl who's singing the song with him, transgender in a cage.
That's not like ironic. Sorry,
all of it
Unholy,
together.
okay.
Yeah, but I thought the meaning of the song "Unholy" was like, okay, yeah, you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Like the dude is sleeping around with somebody on his wife. Like that's the because everyone's saying like, well, the song is called "Unholy," and I'm like, no shit, Sherlock.
No,
but like that's not the way I was going with it.
No. People are literally trying to pull us away from Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, and bring us closer to the devil. Like, what the fuck is actually happening? That is not art. Do not sit here and tell me this is art. This is an expression. Shut the fuck up.
No, you could have fooled me before, but now they're being so blatant about it. Because like before I was like, oh, maybe it's not. Like maybe they didn't meet. Like the producer slipped that in there. That it wasn't the artist. No, the artists are so in on this.
I'm sorry. I have no like interest in worshiping the devil or like singing along with this like fucked up.
It's really bad. Like, and then Jay-Z mocked the Last Supper.
Oh, so I didn't see anything about that.
So it was like full spread table, like just like.
And you know that Jay-Z and Beyonce are like apparently like the head of the Illuminati.
Yeah, and he was like covering one eye, and like the disciples were supposed to be the background singers. I can't speak. It was bad, dude.
Which I used to think Illuminati, like ha ha ha, the Illuminati, it's like conspiracy theories, yeah. Like yeah, whatever. But now, like
it's bad.
Beyonce's music, literally, she does like witchcraft in her songs. Like if you read all the lyrics and stuff, like it's freaking creepy.
Wait,
like
what?
And I don't. I'm
No,
so
have
not
you
a
heard that song?
Beyonce fan.
Move like it's like come up on the stage and move my hips like I don't know, and it's like saying like something when that demon song when that demon turns me on or something like
Yeah,
that.
what the fuck?
When somebody played that for me, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who literally is
get it.
in the writing room writing the lyrics and writes when the demon turns me on and thinks, oh, that'll be good. That's a great
don't quote
thing
me on
to
that,
say.
but it says something or like when that demon something something.
It doesn't matter because there's clear
It's there.
fucked up lyricism in these songs. Like
It's there.
It's all sorts of I'm not.
But
down.
you could have fooled me before when it was like the artist wasn't necessarily blatantly singing about it, but the music video would show something and hide something, and like certain people would catch on to it. I'd be like, oh, it's not them. It's like the people who are making this. Like it's like they have nothing to do with it. It's like not their fault. Whatever.
No.
Now it's like straight, blatantly like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah,
like you can choose to follow along or not. Now I'm just like, I don't want to turn on my radio.
It's so weird. It's so creepy.
I wonder if this happens
so dark.
in like the Latino like singing side of things, because that's all I listen to now. Is Spanish music.
Yeah,
And Brazilian.
I don't
think they do that.
I haven't seen any of that. But speaking of Beyonce, she now holds the record for most awarded artist in Grammy history.
Yeah, but did you see what's his face said? The DJ said they panned to him. I don't know if it was on purpose on an accident, but they were like, he was like, she bought that or they bought that.
Oh,
like
I heard
so she
about
could be the
that.
most. Who was it? It's
Dude,
I think
I
it's
wouldn't
some DJ.
be freaking surprised
Yeah.
because. And everybody was, I guess all the Beyonce fans were like outraged because she didn't win Album of the Year. Harry Styles did. And this is the 4th time she was nominated for it. And so she lost and like people are pissed. And then speaking of Harry Styles, he's receiving, I don't know if you've seen anything about this, but he's receiving major backlash. This is so
For what? I haven't seen it.
stupid. This is the dumbest world I've ever been a part of. Okay.
What?
He's receiving backlash for saying in his acceptance speech. Hold on. I quoted it. Hold on.
You gotta hold the water bottle. Hold your award.
I literally have a mic right here.
Hold your award.
Oh, this is the award.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on a second. Where is it?
Should I hold the phone for you so it can be your prompter, your teleprompter? Do you really have it pulled up?
Wait. He's receiving backlash for saying, this doesn't happen to people like me, and this is so, so nice. He's receiving backlash for saying, this
What was
doesn't
he
happen to
supposed to
people
say?
like me. You know why? Because people are tweeting that is the most white privilegiest thing a person has ever said on the Grammy stage.
What does
in
that
history.
have to do with that?
Dude, people are insane.
I'm confused with the connection.
They're saying white men like you don't win Grammys. Like he could have literally just been saying like, oh, people like me, like
Maybe he thinks he's nerdy.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Or he's not in the Illuminati. Like, I don't know why we jump to these things.
No.
I can't deal with
people are toxic and they want something to
find
fucking
something.
bitch about. Oh my God, are you joking? Like he can't even enjoy his moment. It says people are mad because most winners have been white men like Harry Styles.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's
I don't know when we're going to drop this nonsense. but
never.
okay.
This
I'm
is
over it.
It's so dumb. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Okay, another clip that was the Grammys. That's all I had for the Grammys, but that's enough. Moving on. Oh, okay. So there's another viral video going around. I don't know if you saw it, but like, I guess there was a presidential something where everybody like goes and I don't know, whatever. Anyways,
An inauguration?
not
what?
that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Brazil one.
No. I'm talking
I
about
was like, because that happened
here.
back in January.
Anyways, there's a clip of Joe Biden's wife greeting Kamala. Is it Kamala?
Camilla?
Camilla? No, it's Kamala.
Is it Kamala?
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh.
know.
Okay. Is that
We're going to
embarrassing?
sound really dumb, but I don't follow that.
Yeah, same. I don't either.
I don't
It's
care
just
for
a
her.
viral clip. Joe Biden's wife is greeting Kamala Harris's
It is probably
husband
Kamala.
and they kiss on the lips. Like, dude, I think the White House is literally a bunch of like.
Wait, say that entire sentence again?
Joe Biden's wife greets Kamala Harris's
Husband.
husband with a kiss on the lips.
And they have proof of this.
It's a clip that's going viral.
I want to see what the hell is wrong. Are they swingers?
Dude, I think the White House
Stop. Let me see this.
I literally think
and
they have
no
orgies.
They're not doing like coverage on this. Like they're not like coming out and doing like, I don't know, trying to save their face. Like what?
No, dude, and nobody batted an eye. No, it's a whole room.
No
of people.
one's going to talk about it.
Okay, sorry, I shared it too. Here it is.
They're not going to have
This is so
PR
freaking
all
weird.
over this.
Just watch the whole.
What the hell? And she's not even doing anything. Is that her?
The people that kiss.
No. But is that not his wife right there?
No. I don't see Biden or Kamala.
I thought that might be her because
No.
it's kind of blurry.
Is that not weird?
Yeah, if you kissed my husband, I'd probably be at your
It
house.
doesn't
at night
matter
ready to
how
beat your
close
ass
you
up.
are. You don't kiss people on
Yeah.
the lips.
That's messed up. I don't like.
It
I
looks
don't
like
approve.
they look very, very comfy with each other.
I'm feeling like they swing. That's my thought.
100%.
That's my thought.
It has to be that.
Yeah, there's no other explanation.
Anyways, I thought that was super odd.
That's crazy.
What the hell's wrong with people?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Screwed.
Okay.
This day and age is done.
Sex conversation of the week.
Oh yeah, I remember this now. Okay.
So, giving head, getting head. I don't know how. There's so many different
Can
terms.
you say getting head for a girl?
I don't. There's so many different terms. Like I don't getting eaten out. Like yeah.
I don't know the terminology for a girl.
I don't want to call it oral sex. Like
It's oral sex.
okay.
Oral sex.
So we're talking about oral sex today.
What about it?
We love it here. I love it here. Do you love it?
I love giving it.
But you don't like.
I've heard that's a weird thing.
It's not a weird thing. I think a
Yeah.
lot of girls like giving it. I personally, it's not that I have to like really be in the vibe. I'm always saying this. I'm like, I have to be in the vibe. Then I like it, but like, it's kind of like.
I like the connection. Anything that has to do with sex. I like the connection.
Do you think
We're
you're
going
really
back
good
to-
at it?
I think so.
Does he think so?
You know what? I said I was a bad kisser. I'm great at it.
Are you?
I mean, there's only girls here, so I don't really care.
Are you? How do you know now? Did he tell
Because,
you?
yeah.
Y'all talked about it?
Yeah.
Well, what did he say?
Dad, I'm good at it.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
cute.
take that as a win.
Okay.
I'm
So
not
now-
a good kisser, but I think I'm good at it.
So what makes a girl good at giving head?
I got a good answer.
Okay.
If the butt crack ain't wet, you ain't doing it right. No, the only reason I'm laughing about that is because he sent me a video that said that. So it was another girl who
If
said
the
it.
butt crack
Ain't wet, you ain't doing it right.
Wow. So
Yeah.
this
I'll send you the video. It's
So-
really funny.
basically the sloppier the better.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Sloppy.
I
like
don't know if that was referring to if you're not like
using a lot of spit.
that or if it's like you're not in the ball area.
Oh.
I'm not sure what she was referencing when she said that. And like the guys in the video were all like, oh, like if that was accurate. Kennedy sent it to me. I thought it was funny.
So you're sucking on balls.
I mean, that's not what I said.
No, okay.
That's not what I said. I said, I don't know if it's either one of those things.
No, I think guys definitely like their balls to be sucked.
I think my tip is if you don't know what
do
you're
you
doing, just
suck
get in there
them?
and just go for stuff.
Do you suck them or do you make out with them?
Both.
Yeah, both, right?
Yeah. I love every part of that, man. There's probably nothing.
What are you doing with your hands when you're giving head? Is that do we use hands? Do we not use hands?
I've done both of you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Once you're in a relationship this long, there's nothing that you haven't done.
I want to see his butthole, but he won't let me see it. Have you looked at Lucas's butthole? I'm like, I just want to see it. And he's like, no.
I have.
You have?
Yeah, but that's all. That's as far as I'm going because I don't think he would appreciate a conversation about his butthole.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to see it.
Oh, dude, it looks like a butthole.
I know. That's what he said. He was like, you don't need to see it. And I was
Yeah.
like, but I want to see your butthole.
Okay. Well, it's a butthole.
So I haven't seen it.
So reversing the conversation, what about getting oral? Like, is that your thing? Is that not your thing?
That's not
Does
my
he like
thing.
doing it?
Yeah, that's not my thing though.
You're
Is that your
psychotic.
thing?
I love it. That's like,
not my
how can you
thing.
go through life without like loving
Like
that consistently?
I definitely will take part in it if it's being offered, but it's not like my go-to favorite thing.
Why is that? Is it because you're insecure about that area? You have said that you don't like your vagina.
Well, I mean, no, I just like I say that as in like I don't like my own vaginas, and like I would never want to be with another girl because I think vaginas are just like, ugh. I don't even like my own, like, ugh. Like, they bleed and they do things, and it's just.
You always say they bleed, but like, there's nothing gross about that.
Which is great. I love my babies.
And
but
it's a beautiful thing having a baby.
It's just like, I don't know. And I mean, I don't know. But, like, is it, like, am I insecure about my vagina? No. My vagina's awesome. But it's very contradictory, I know. I think for me, it's more or less, I feel like the attention's all on me, if that makes sense.
Okay.
There's a lot more pressure, and I'm not good under pressure.
See,
so, what if I take too long, or like what if I don't? What if it's like too soon? It's like
yeah, when you have all that going on in your head in the midst of it, yeah,
it's not for me. Because like I don't like all the focus being on me. Like I want to be doing whatever we're doing like together. I don't know. Like that's not for me, just because it's so much pressure.
Okay, I feel that. I understand what you're saying. Still,
I feel like saying that to a guy though, they're just like they don't get it.
They don't,
because I've tried to explain that.
Guys don't get things.
No.
But
and I feel like somebody's gonna try to refer that to, oh, they're not that good then or whatever. But like that's not the case.
Course.
When you're in your own head, like your head controls everything that happens from there.
But I also do think that if you not that you don't, I don't know. If you had a man that was like constantly telling you like, I love doing that to you, I love pleasing you,
that don't matter for me.
Okay, you're still like,
I'm still in my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, get out of your
head.
head.
I'm like, what about this? What about this? What about
great.
This? I know.
I love it. Like, and I love that my man loves it.
Yeah.
If you're one of those guys that says, I don't eat ass, I don't lick pussy,
that's fun.
You're a loser.
That's fun.
Like, who doesn't actually
do either of those? Yeah. Because if you're not doing everything and anything, something wrong.
Yeah.
And you can't get in your head about the ass thing, so that's always fun.
You can't get in your head about the ass thing?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Because, like, what are you going to get in your head about?
Oh, because okay. Well, okay. Because you're saying, like, but we do head, like, as, like, a foreplay, and then when if it's getting too long or you feel like you're not about to come, then you can be like,
yeah, that's
put that dick inside me, baby, or whatever.
If it's foreplay, I'm all for that. Yeah. As long as it's not like I'm just gonna do this.
Okay.
Tonight,
okay.
Then that's like a lot of pressure, and I'm like, oh wait, what?
Okay, I'm just gonna do
Don't
this.
say that.
Gotcha.
Now you just killed it because now I feel a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Because like, what if they get tired?
Yeah, Lucas has gotten tired before, and like I can tell when he gets tired, and then it ruins it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm sorry.
Do we dirty talk?
I think that's fun.
I think it's fun too, but
not
like,
all the time.
No, not all the time. But like Lucas and I are such like a couple that messes with each other and jokes around with each other so much, and like picks on each other that it's hard for me to like take talking dirty serious when we do get to that time, sexual time.
But you're talking about like over text, or you're talking about in person?
No, I'm talking about during sex. Talking dirty during sex.
Yeah, no. I mean, maybe a little, not a lot.
It's like, because like, how do you get to the
very random.
How do you just like have normal communication with somebody like all throughout the day, and then like you get to the bedroom and you guys are having sex? Like, how do you
like that?
Get the confidence to be like, yeah, daddy, that's where the spot is? Like,
I don't think anybody says that.
Oh no, I've
so?
heard friends say.
If I said that, he'd probably stop what he's doing and be like, huh?
Exactly. Lucas, I mean, at this point, since I've never gone there,
right?
He would for sure be like, wait, what?
Or like, wait, do you say your significant other's name during sex?
No, I mean, my brother's name is Lucas, so I
feel like it would
weird.
be weird. I never call my husband by his name hardly, unless like I'm mad. And I'm like, Kennedy,
I can't even
answer me.
I can't even say like, oh my God, because then I immediately think about God and I'm like, oh, oops, like, sorry. My bad. Like, it's weird. Like,
I will say, oh my God.
I know, but then it's weird. Like, my brain just goes there every time.
That's true. That is very true.
So I guess my go-to is like, of course, fuck.
Yeah, I'd say that way too much. Way too much. I realized I was like, damn, that's all I say is fuck.
Yeah, that's like, I would say my go-to, but like, even then I'm like, I don't want to like yell it or like, I
Wait,
don't know.
so you have kids, so do you scream at all?
Scream? No.
Not like scream, but like a little light like sound.
I feel like that's just so extra.
I feel like
do.
unless it's natural, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm
like
saying.
every now and then, like natural, like
yeah,
but, like,
naturally you'd be like, like
yeah.
like whatever.
But, like to force it,
But like to be like, like what
we're hearing
the
big sex sounds.
like
today.
what the actual fuck? Like that's just extreme. I mean, I want to like, yeah, I don't know. I would laugh at myself if I went too far deep into this like dirty talk.
Yeah.
Me and Lucas have been talking about PDA recently
Mm-hmm.
because like in the beginning of our relationship, like we were all over each other constantly. And obviously like that kind of like dies down the longer not the longer you're together, but like you just get comfortable. Then you have kids. So you're always worried about your kids and you're taking care of your kids while you're out. So you don't even have time to think about PDA. And I was telling him last night, I was like, I remember in the beginning of our relationship, like I remember we would just like lay on the couch or like lay in bed and I would like rub my face against your face and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I love your skin, I love your face, I love your nose, and I would like touch his nose and I would like
Wait, are you talking about
kiss
like being like affectionate at home, or are you talking about public display of affection?
I'm talking
public?
about both, honestly. And I would say like I remember your favorite thing is like when I would kiss you, but like I would kiss like where I'm just like kissing your bottom lip. I was like, you used to be like, oh, I love when you do that. And now like when you come to kiss me, it's just like pecks, like that. And he's like, what kiss are you talking about in the beginning? And I demonstrated the kiss that he used to like love. And he was like, no, I love that. Like screw with just pecks. I hate pecks. He was like, I want you to kiss me like that. He was like, you always just go for the peck. And I'm like, well, then voice that. Like, this is why communication is important. I'm like, tell me that you want me to kiss you like I used to kiss you. Like, I don't know. When you go to kiss me, it seems like you're just going for like a little peck. And maybe that was me being in my head. So now I'm like, okay, now I'm going to be more.
No, we had this conversation too. Like now, like I get the cheek and I'm like, why are you giving me the cheek? And it's like, he's so used to that. Cause like the kids, like basically so we had this conversation about like, I think a lot of people have different views on like, do you kiss your kid in the mouth or not? You know? I'm like, I birthed it. I will kiss it. Like, this is mine. And like, my husband's sending me all these doctors saying like germs. And then like, you're teaching your kid to like, basically like at school, they're going to kiss like anybody and like all these things. And so I've noticed she won't let me kiss her anymore. Like she'll go like this. Because the daycare teachers are doing that. And so he's like, do not unteach what they have taught. And I'm like, but I want kisses. So every night I say, okay, give mommy a kiss night-night. And she goes, on the lips. But every other time, she'll give me the cheek. I'm like, can you give mommy beige? And she goes, so it's like I give her a kiss on the cheek. But like now I think because like she'll go to give him a kiss, you know, it'll be on the cheek. So like he's so used to doing that. And I'm like, get unused to that.
Yeah.
Get unused to that.
No.
Give me the lips. And then he goes, oh. I'm like, so there's coaching moments.
I would die if I couldn't like kiss my kids on the lips all day. Same with Lucas. Like,
I mean, but he has a good point.
Very affectionate.
But he has a good point. Like,
yeah.
I don't want her going around and kissing everybody in the mouth at daycare. Or like the teachers.
Yeah. No, true. Babies are so cute.
She loves
They're
it.
so kissable. Look at that. We were talking about sex. Then it led to PDA. Now we're talking about kids again. That's what happens. Okay. So should we end this conversation on my next topic? I guess we should.
What's the next one for today?
Okay. So I would like to start the camera over just in case I go over.
What? I always do that. I make all sorts of noises on here.
But I'm about to talk about like deep stuff. My heart rate it just is too much for me.
Wait, what deep stuff?
Okay, so the next thing I wanted to address, what I talked to you about over the phone. Sorry, I breathe.
I think I know where we're going.
Let me take deep breaths.
We ready for this?
Yeah. It's not even like that. It's not that serious. I just things that are.
It doesn't help with the energy.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Yeah.
It's okay though. It's because this actually.
You're shaking.
Right? I'm shaking. Like, that's wild. So,
Okay, what? You have me. I feel like I thought I knew where you were going with this, but now I don't know.
no. Yeah, it's not even that serious. I don't talk about, I haven't talked about Lucas being in the hospital yet. So I feel like every time I talk about it, I want to talk about it in the way of like, not being angry or explosive, because that's not like where my heart is in anything that I say. Like, I'm not angry. Like, okay, so I don't like the way my heart feels. Okay. For those of you that don't know, my other half, partner, father of my kids, was in a really bad car accident on August 7th. And we were in the hospital for about a month. And he suffered a brain injury. And when this happened, the first 2 weeks were hell, because I hadn't heard he wasn't talking. He wasn't waking up. When he would have moments of waking up, he would be really, really, really aggressive. Like, we called it Hulk mode, because he would just like start ripping things out of places that like were necessary for him to like breathe. And
for anyone who doesn't know, though, I think you're missing a very like few things. Like, he broke all the bones in his face. Like, it wasn't just like a brain injury. Not just like a brain injury is huge, but like there was more to it than that. Like, all the bones in his face. Wasn't his mouth wired shut?
So I'm not really sure. Like, at first they were talking about having to do jaw surgery and having to wire the jaw shut, but that actually didn't end up happening for, I guess, after they went under and did like the facial surgery for all of the bones in the face, they realized they didn't have to do it. So luckily they didn't have to do that. But like they had to cut a hole and do surgery in his throat to put like a trach. I don't even know what it's called, but
it was a really bad accident.
Yeah, it was a really bad accident. Like, in the first day, like, I didn't know like if he was going to be staring at a wall for the rest of his life, unable to like talk to me ever again. So like, going through that was obviously one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. And I was very present on social media when that all was happening, because for me, and this isn't the case for everybody, but for me, social media is like an outlet, and I'm very vulnerable on social media, and I am myself even when it's not the most beautiful parts of me. When I was going through all of that, like, Lucas is my person that I come home to at the end of every single day, and I talk about what's going on in my life. And he's been my person for over 12 years now. So not having him to talk to, like, and not having like a shit ton of friends, I felt very alone. Like, of course I had like my mom and my dad as like a support system, but like, I did feel very alone in a way, and social media has always been an outlet for me. So like, I was very vocal on social media. And when I would have bad days, I would express that on social media. And over the weekend, this past weekend, I was at Lucas's family's house, like a cousin, and they brought up the fact that like I I don't do well with hate comments. And I was like, no, I don't care about hate comments. Like, they don't bother me. And they were like, no, but like when Lucas was in the hospital and you made a video about, you were mad that the nurse wasn't following you back on Instagram. And I was like, no, no, no.
Wait, what does that have to do with hate comments?
So I guess we're getting there. I was like, no, no, no. I wasn't mad that the nurse didn't follow me back on Instagram. Like, that was a joke. Like, some people don't understand my sarcastic humor. But I made a video where I was like, you guys, I think my abandonment issues are like coming out because I just don't understand. Like, a nurse will be with him in the ICU for like 3 days and then she leaves and it changes to somebody else. But like, she's not even asking me for my Instagram or Lucas for his Instagram. Like, I'm offended. Like, don't you want to like catch up and like go to dinner sometime when Lucas is better?
Yeah, because like on your end, you make a really, I know where you're coming from because I did this. When you're in a situation like that, like I was with my mom and my grandfather and my grandma, you really bond with these people over the 3 days because you see them all the time.
And I was there all day long, just
Yeah.
talking to them and
Yeah.
like learning and like constantly asking questions.
Yeah, so you grow really fond of them. I get why you made a joke about it.
Right. So the issue is people are like, why are you even joking in a time where when your other half is in a hospital bed, like sick and trying to get better?
Something's got to get you through, people. And it might as well be a good sense of humor when you can muster it up. So fuck off.
Right. So exactly.
I've been through it too many times, not with my significant half, but with my mother and my grandfather and my grandmother. So I can't imagine it being my partner, but like, fuck off.
Yeah. So
Kindly.
So like somebody left a comment saying like, wow, your husband is laying in a hospital bed and you can make jokes about the nurse following you on Instagram. So the cousin that we were hanging out with over the past weekend, she was like, yeah, you got so mad. You were in your feelings. Like, you responded to that and you were really upset and mad. First of all, I genuinely don't even remember addressing that, but like all of back then was like a fucking blur. This was 6 months ago, for those of you that don't know, but like I don't remember addressing it, but I was like, oh, well, I mean, like that's different. A comment when I'm like in the worst time of my life and it's about, oh, I'm like insensitive to the fact that my husband's laying in a hospital bed. One thing I want to say, and this is important in all aspects of life, stop taking social media so seriously, because you don't know what I was going through every single second of every single day that I was in the hospital with Lucas. Like I said, Lucas wasn't speaking. Lucas was in a coma. Lucas was not Lucas. And every single day I was hoping and praying for the moment that he was going to wake up and I was going to hear his voice. And I was having really, really, really bad days where I was broken and crying and upset and not posting to social media. Or if I was posting, it was like a picture of us or a montage of us or like just like in my feels. I looked back at the day that I posted that video, which I did delete off of Instagram. And that's what I thought. I didn't think I responded to that comment about the mean comment. I thought I immediately deleted the video after that comment was said because I was so just like upset and mad about it. Anyways, I looked back on the day that I posted that video, and that day was August 19th. And I looked at the videos surrounding that video that were taken that same day. And August 19th is the first day that I got to hear Lucas's voice. And was like, just like, that was a great fucking day. And this is a man that like I've spoken to on the phone with or seen or talked to every single day for like the last 12 years of my life. So hearing his voice on that day was definitely a win in my book, and was obviously something to celebrate. And if I felt like going to social media where I felt like I could finally make a joke about something, then that's what I was going to do, and I should be able to do. There's this microscope on people, on me, that everybody's just waiting for, like, what is she going to say? Like, what is she going to do? And it's like the moment I do something that they're like, think is weird, they want to like judge it, assume. And like, you didn't know that, like, I had been waiting since August 7th. Like, I had been waiting 12 days for this man to speak. And like on that day he did. And then I made a funny joke on Instagram, and like people want to talk shit about it. I don't know, it's mind blowing to me.
When somebody's going through something of this stature, something's got to get you through it. And if it's not people around you getting you through it, you have to find a way yourself to get through it. And I had my sister through these really, really hard times that I was going through. And I don't know exactly who you had going through this with you, but I had my sister hand in hand with me. And if it wasn't for her, I probably would have gone to social media to have an outlet. And I feel like, yes, it's under a microscope and you're judged a lot more on social media, but I think that people have to stop taking it so seriously. So even with relatable content, you can't please people, and not even your own family, sad enough. And I feel like that's the people who should be lifting you up, not trying to come up with things to engage with you about that is contradictory or argumentative. So that's all I got to say.
There was just so much more going on behind closed doors that was literally knocking me down over and over again. That didn't even have to do with social media. And like, some people that I thought would be there for me the most ended up being there for me the least. And that was like hard to accept. And like, people just weren't having my back. And like, phone calls were made to my dad saying that my emotions were too much for Lucas, and that I'm posting things on Instagram talking about likes. Like, my dad got called, and I literally thought I was going to get banned from the hospital. And
because that can happen.
Yeah. And like, this is the father of my children. This is like, I know that every single person that is involved with Lucas was going through their own thing. Mm-hmm. But like,
you're essentially the wife.
Like, I'm his partner. Mm-hmm. I'm the person that knows his deepest, darkest secrets. I'm the person that goes to sleep with him every single night. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm the person that hears his voice every single day, multiple times a day. Like, what I'm going through is completely different than anybody. Mm-hmm. And
I feel like the people who are mostly affected is like the mom and the wife. And like, y'all are engaged. Like, y'all are like one and one to me. Y'all are like boom. And it's crazy to me how much disrespect happened. But that's a whole nother story.
Well, I can't imagine being Lucas's mom in that moment. No. And everything that she was going through and everything that she was feeling. Because obviously I think about my boys and how I would be feeling in that moment. But and not to like talk badly or anything like that, but like, we're supposed to be there for each other. Like,
hand in hand, yeah.
We are supposed to have each other's backs the most. Mm-hmm. To give some context, like, when Lucas was in the hospital, obviously so many people reached out, so many people were concerned, and people wanted to come and visit. And I love that. And that's great. And I want you to be there for Lucas. But like, what happened was so extreme that like, crazy ass things were happening in the hospital every single day. Lucas was in very vulnerable moments that like, I don't know if he would want, people to be a part of. it's very intimate. It's very vulnerable. And I think that people forget that, yes, Lucas was going through something vulnerable and extreme, but I was also going through something very extreme. And people would reach out to me and like want to come visit. And I would be like, today's not a good day. And like, they would ask multiple times. And I would keep saying like, today is probably not good. And so they would step around and go to other people that had access. And I remember having Lucas's phone, because I got him a new phone and I signed into his iCloud and stuff. So he was like getting the text messages that he was getting prior. But so like he's in a guys group, and somebody wrote in the guys group, hey, if you want to go visit, like make sure you reach out to Lucas's mom, because she's letting people go see Lucas whenever they want. But it's like, this was somebody that had like reached out to me already. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no.
It's not a good time.
It's like, have some respect and give me like the time that I need as well. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to sit there and force conversation with you about what's going on and stare at Lucas while he sleeps. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going through something too, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, it's not just Lucas. Like, I'm going through something. I don't want to see your face. I don't want to have to force conversation with you. I want to sit here and literally wait for the moment Lucas wakes up and have a conversation with him. Mm-hmm. And people were let in, given the code, given the door access, and happened to come in a very crucial moment for me, because Lucas was all of a sudden randomly like having conversation that was not like, that wasn't like all doped up on like medication. Mm-hmm. It was he seemed present, and he was like, what's going on, kind of. And I was like,
and I would have wanted that to just be like me and his mom.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
And my mom.
Like, this is the moment that I've been waiting for. Mm-hmm. And in the middle of that, like, two guys that I've never met in my life walk in. And I'm like, I literally started shaking. I was like, hi. And they were like, hey, like, Lucas's mom gave us the info to get in here. Like, they didn't just like, they walked into the hospital room. They had to be given like the door access, the passcode, like all of it. And I'm like in this moment where I'm like talking to Lucas, and I'm like, okay, like, sorry. And he just starts having a conversation with them, speaking in Portuguese. And I'm like, is this really happening? And like, they're just talking.
I would have just started crying.
I started crying. And Lucas was like, babe, like, what's wrong? And
he just woke up. He didn't know.
The fact that he's looking at me and saying like, babe, what's wrong? I'm like, are you really saying that?
Backtrack this for the people who don't know. She was told that he may or may not ever like speak again. He may or may not ever like come out of like a coma. Like, life as you know it is doing a 180.
And I was being told like, when he wakes up, we don't know like how he's going to be.
Yeah. Like they were talking, brain damage.
Right.
Yeah. Super scary. So like, this is a very intimate moment.
So this is a very intimate moment.
You're like, oh my God.
I didn't treat these people that came in badly,
disrespectfully,
but I was clearly uncomfortable, and I ended up saying like, I'm so sorry. Like, I haven't seen him conversate like this.
Can you give us a moment?
Like, I didn't say, can you give us a moment even? I kind of was.
Can you go away? Can you go home?
I was expecting them to like take the hint.
Yeah.
And leave. And like, Lucas looked at me and he was like, babe, like, you're my best friend. Like, come here, give me a hug. Aww. And I was like, so like couldn't believe the words that he was saying. I was like, no, it's okay. Finish your conversation with your friends. Cause I literally wanted him to finish so I could literally jump on top of him and be like, oh my gosh, what the hell? Listen to me. Like, this is what happened. This is what happened. Like, what the hell? Like, you're talking to me? Like, I wanted to be like that. And I couldn't be like that in front of
Catch up
these two
with your
guys,
person.
in front of these two guys that I've never met in my life. So I'm uncomfortable. So I'm like, no, finish with your friend. And he's like, no, give me a hug right now. You're my best friend. And I'm like, okay. And I'm feeling so weird because these guys, who the fuck are you? And so
but hold up, pause there too, because I can see people being like, oh, you're being so selfish. No. If you have your other person, your other half, your life partner, then you would understand what she's talking about. If you don't have that, then don't open your damn mouth on this platform, because I don't want to hear it, because you obviously need to divorce, or you need to go find a different girlfriend or boyfriend, because it ain't the one. Because unless you know, and those statements are 100% accurate. Like, whenever I try to put myself in your shoes, everything you say, I couldn't agree with more. Everything you say you disagree with, everything that you say that's ever happened to you during this struggle and path that you've been down with Lucas, I cannot say I would do anything different. Nothing, not a thing.
Dude, everything I was doing was reacting on everything I felt. Like, so obviously I leaned in for a hug, and as I was hugging him, like, they backed out of the room and like left. Praise the Lord.
Right? I'm surprised you didn't say, I need a moment, or can you go home? Bye.
Dude, no, I wasn't rude at all.
I know, but like, that's your moment.
I know. That's my moment, right?
Yeah, that's the moment.
You would have thought.
Because like everything you were being told.
You would have thought that was my moment that I deserved. Yeah. Right?
The father of your kids, your other half, your significant other, your life partner, the everything, your end all to be all. See you every morning when you wake up. See you every night when you go to bed. The thing that you were told, you might lose this person, and you think you're going to end up dying with this person in your 90s. It might not be the same person, and then you find out, my God, you all were wrong. Right. That's your moment.
That's my fucking moment, right? Okay, so I'm so excited. Like, I sit on the bed. I start talking to him. I tell him, like, what's going on. He's like, well, obviously he's very, like slow and monotoned, but, like, I'm hearing his voice, and he's talking back
making sense
to what I'm saying. So I'm just so excited. And then Lucas's aunt gets there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I let her in the door. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, Lucas is talking, like, he's okay. Like, he's talking to me, and I'm freaking out. And she comes in, she sees, they talk. And then I told her, I was like, yeah, these two guys came in, and like, they left because I was like, I don't know, it was weird. Like, I told her about the situation. And so then she leaves, and a little bit later, Lucas's mom gets there to switch shifts with me because she was staying like the nightcap. And she comes in, and she is like visibly upset. And I'm like, oh my God, I've had this amazing day. And I had like texted her about it, and I didn't hear back from her, but like, she seems visibly upset. Like, what's going on? And I was like, what's wrong? She was like, nothing is wrong. And I was like, okay, something is clearly wrong. Like, I get the aura, I get the vibe. And I'm like, are you really bringing like that negative energy into the room? And she was like, me bringing that negative energy into the room? And I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. So I leave, and I text Lucas's aunt, and I'm like, hey, have you spoken to
your mother-in-law?
My mother-in-law, like, she seems mad. And she said, yes, those friends that you talked about earlier, they called her and said that you were very angry that they were there, and you made them feel extremely uncomfortable.
Who were these people that you've never met before in 13 years?
These are people that Lucas had like made a song with. Like, just a random song. Like, he'd known them for
so this isn't family.
He had known them for 2 months. Lucas's mom had never met these people.
I don't get what the importance was with these people. Irregardless, you weren't rude, so.
The moment she said, the friends called Lucas's mom, and they said that you were very angry and you made them feel uncomfortable, I lost my shit. And how I reacted, because I was extremely reactive in this moment, was not the best way to go about things, 100%. And I take responsibility for that, and I should have handled it differently. I should have thrown my phone out the window and taken 1,000 deep breaths, but I didn't. And I literally just went into like attack mode, and I was like, fuck this. I just got given the eat shit look on a day that I had this beautiful moment with Lucas that got ruined kind of by these two guys being in there in this moment. And you're going to trust what these guys say, first of all, and be mad at me for the way I reacted in a moment that I have been waiting for and needing and wanting so badly. I was like, fuck this. I mean nothing to this family. Nobody cares about me. Like, I cannot believe this. Like, when somebody that you don't even know, you've never even met before, calls you and says, this girl was mad and she made us feel uncomfortable. As Lucas is my family. Lucas is your family, so I am family. You have my back and you defend me. You want to say, oh, Victoria, your family. Then treat me as such and have my fucking back when Lucas can't. Tell these people, she's in the hospital every day with Lucas, waiting for him to wake up. And she was clearly having a moment. Like, I'm sorry that she treated you a certain way. But like, she's going through a lot.
Yeah.
But instead, they were told, I'm so sorry she acted like that. And I was given the fucking middle finger. And I had never felt so betrayed in my life. And I was like, I am not family. I am not family. And I felt so alone. And this was the day that my dad got called and the nurses had to talk to my dad and say that my emotions were too much. Because in that moment when those guys left and me and Lucas did talk, I cried my fucking eyes out, like, so much. And they mentioned it, I guess, to his mom. So they called my dad and were like, her emotions are too much for Lucas. And for it to be your other half, the father of your kids, and me get told on, like, my dad gets called, like, is this a joke? Like, am I being punked? Because, like, you can't seriously, first of all, be giving me the middle finger after I pissed some guys that you don't even know, you haven't even met off.
I'm confused, like, the significance these people have.
I don't know why people love to hate me or love to have shit with me. But in that moment, I was like, I am done. I am done begging for this family to accept me. And I was like, thank God Lucas is awake, and that means he's going to be better and he's going to get better. And it's going to be fine because Lucas is going to be back and he's going to be next to my side. But like, in that moment, I was like, I can't believe this. And so then obviously there was a couple days later, I texted like a long ass freaking paragraph to Lucas's mom saying how I felt betrayed and how I had been waiting for this moment. And the response I got back, obviously she's going through things too. Like, there's no bad blood right now. But like, there's no closure on it either because communication never happened. Like, I never got an apology for it. And I do hold resentment in that. But when I said, like, I felt betrayed, my moment with Lucas got ruined. She said, I saw you have so many moments with Lucas. AK, like when he finally put a thumbs up for the first time, or when he went like this for the first time, or when he wrote on paper for the first time. Those were all moments that I got to be a part of, which were amazing moments. But I also deserved the moment where he had a conversation with me for the first time. And she said, I saw you have so many moments with him. You stop saying you deserved this moment. But as the mother of his children and the person that sleeps next to him every night, I deserve every single moment that I want with him after I almost thought he was going to die or be brain dead. And it was going to be me and his children taking care of him for the rest of our lives. So I think I deserved that moment. And I think my feelings are valid when it comes to that situation. And you don't know what people are dealing with when you're seeing the story on social media. So give people a break. Stop looking at them with a microscope on social media and reach out.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt. Just be kind and be there for others. And also, like, I talk a lot about people being toxic and to cut people off that are toxic. But, like, one thing I know about myself, and if you know me, you know this, I really am always giving people the benefit of the doubt when they're toxic. And one thing that I am always hoping and wishing for, because I'm always seeing the value in people, no matter the negative that they hold. I really want people to see the value in me. So yeah, that's my little spiel on that. Just be kind. Stop making people feel like shit.
Yeah.
You know?
And surround yourself with better people.
Yeah, surround yourself with better people and people that bring you up, and
when you can, because some things you just can't control.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's episode 10. It was a long one.
It was. We had our moments, we had our ups and we had our downs,
But I think we talked about a lot of good stuff.
And important stuff.
Yeah, important stuff. And I really needed to get that out for kind of like some closure a little bit, because I didn't get closure to that whole entire thing. And it's been like eating at me.
I think people appreciate getting the intimate details sometimes of our lives.
So yeah, guys, that was episode 10. We are going to take a 1 week break.
Woo, just because my sister's in town.
Just because I need, well, that's true. But also, like, we're going to move on to season 2, and I'm going to brainstorm on what we can do to, like, bring new and exciting content and, like, spice it up somehow. Like, I'm going to brainstorm that for the next couple of weeks.
We're excited.
Yeah, but I hope you guys
We'll be back.
stick around, and love you.
Mean it.
Bye.